Hello, Frags and Beer family. Welcome back to Indie Spotlight. I'm your host, Xamot. Forgot to take my glasses off so you guys don't have to stare at that blue glare all the time. I'm your host, Xamot, also known as Trevor on social media. You can find links to all of my content in the video description below, including ways to help this channel. Support us by clicking the subscribe button. That's the biggest way you can support us. But also by checking out the links in the video description. There's a subscribe star page that I have going on. There's exclusive rewards for subscribers. If you go to my website, trevorbiersbach.com, sign up for the newsletter, I will send you a free ebook. That's another way to support me. There is thebeardstruggle.com, which is a brand of beard products that I promote. You can save money using my code BeardWizard99 there. And finally, you can support at the merch store. We have hats and t-shirts and all kinds of cool stuff. Some of which I want to get. I want to actually be able to wear a Frags and Beer shirt on the show. I just haven't ordered it yet. I wear the hat, but I haven't ordered the shirt yet, and I need to get around to doing that. I'm just lazy. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching the live stream, be sure to say hi. I love talking to you guys. If you're watching the recording, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you click that red button. That's the biggest thing. Give me to 300 so I can give away some more books, and on the road to 1,000. Get us to 1,000 before the end of the year. That would really make my year if you can get me to 1,000 subscribers by the end of it. And then I can start letting the ads that YouTube is going to show you anyway help the channel and actually give you guys better content. So that's really my goal, is to give you guys better shows. If you're going to see the ads anyway, they may as well go toward that rather than just straight into YouTube's pocket. Obviously, these videos get copyright claimed most of the time. So in many cases, I'm not going to get ad revenue off of them anyway, but some of the streams, some of the game streams and stuff that I do should, so that will help. So today we're backing up a little bit. It's Thursday, it's Tom, so we're going to look at Tom today. Tomorrow Tom's got a new one dropping. And I've been kind of mixing it up and playing some of his old stuff, some of his new stuff, and going back and forth. And I decided, you know what, let's just work our way back through the catalog. We've done almost all of his new stuff up to Clown World. We've done a few older songs, but I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. So I thought, let's start at the beginning, and I figured, no, let's work our way back. So we're going to go to the next video we've not done yet on Indie Spotlight. Take a look at Clown World. I will pause as needed. And some of these songs, this is where Tom is more controversial. The last 4 or 5 he released were really not that controversial. They were just sort of really good, just general songs with really good lyrics and music and so on. But he did a good group of songs over the last couple of years that are pretty, for the faint of heart, probably not for you. So we'll take a look at Clown World, which is one of the later ones he released before No Good Bastards. So we will take a look at this. I'll pause as necessary. We'll talk about the music and the video and the message. And thank you all. Let's do this.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.
Right? I love him or hate him. He's got a great point right here that if you can't see the point he's making here, I don't know what's wrong with you. But there are bad actors on both sides of every situation. I don't care what political party you come from. I don't care what ideology you come from. I don't care what you support. There are bad actors in the group that you associate with. So to pretend that you are on the right side of history or that you're on the right side of things, sure, you may be thinking the right way for a good society. You may have the right, everybody should have rights, everybody should have the freedom to do what they want to do, everybody should have all these things. Those are the right ways to think. But I guarantee you within that group of people who thinks that, there are bad actors. So when they say we don't need left or right, we need balance, yeah, that's right. people want to say, oh, all conservatives are bad or all liberals are bad. There's bad actors in both of them. They're not all bad, but there are bad actors in both of them. And that's basically what he's saying here is, look, the tribalism has gotten out of hand. It starts off really good, really fast, really punchy. It's quintessential Tom MacDonald. Like, this is his style. He does not do, I mean, he's done a couple songs where there's some intro, but man, he just comes right out of the gate swinging, and he doesn't stop until the song's over. And that's Tom's style for the most part. You're going to find very few songs that aren't like this, especially among his newer stuff. So he's pulling no punches right away.
We saying this is madness. I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall, why does your house have a fence? I believe in two genders, I'm not mad at the rest. I'm just confused when a dude has a beard and some breasts. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, I don't think that the system's racist. I just think the system hates people.
Right? He's right. Like, there are a lot of things you can say, but he's right. The system, there are things about our systems that are specifically attuned to hurt specific types of people. But for the most part, the system, really phlegmy all of a sudden, the system that we've had allowed to develop just hates people. It's not good for any of us, the way we've allowed it to form. By giving too much power and too much everything to people, to politicians and the media and corporations. And if you think any of them care about you, you're part of why we have that system in the first place. They don't care about you. Stop thinking they do.
The system hates people. I think fighting violence with more violence is what they want. Viruses and riots, people dying, we won't stay home. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. When I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones that we ran and didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other, started noticing the color of our skin. Christians and atheists, immigrants, patriots, we love the country but we are not saving it. Wages don't raise to the rate of inflation, and half of the country hates all of the nation. It's funny that...
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't remember when I was growing up, and I grew up before the internet, boys and girls. If you don't know what that was, there was a time before the internet existed. I went to school with kids from all different walks of life and from all different places and different countries. I remember exchange students being in our school. I remember elementary school where kids, I went to elementary school in a town that not only had a federal prison, so you had people being transferred from all over the country, not only because there were people working there that got transferred, but there were inmates in that prison whose families moved to Leavenworth to live there. And it was also a military base, so there were people from all over the world living around Leavenworth, Kansas when I grew up. So I went to school with all kinds of different kids from all different places. And I didn't have a conception of the idea of racism when I was a kid. It just wasn't a thing that I'd ever even heard about. And now when we got a little older and those concepts got introduced to us, in history class and things, that became, this is something that used to exist. This is something that the world used to be like. I went to high school in Georgia. A vast majority of my high school class were black. I didn't even notice it until I started. I started seeing it when I lived in the South, but not nearly as bad as I've seen it other places online when I got older. And sometimes the racism is staggering from people of their own demographic, people racist against their own demographic, which is, I can't even wrap my brain around it. This division, this constant fighting that the media, it's been created. For the most part, I do believe it exists to an extent, and it always has, and it always will. You're never going to get rid of it all. I don't care what kind of pipe dream you're living in. It's never going to go away completely. But what we've been told to believe and what we've been convinced to believe by the media over the last 10 or 15 years is staggering, that people don't recognize it, that they don't see it. It's setting up, it's keeping people in power who don't deserve to be in power, but because we're all fighting each other and arguing with each other and paying attention to each other rather than paying attention to what they're doing, that's how you get a system that's screwing all of us. 100%. This kind of, like, I'm with him on this. It makes me mad. It makes me mad that we're being used against each other so that powerful people can stay in power. Pisses me off. Sorry.
Country hates all of the nation. It's funny that we think the world owes us something. All the phones got smart, but the people so dumb. We care more about the likes on a selfie than our moms, and the only time we ever speak the truth when we're drunk. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, your thoughts and opinions ain't facts, and they are not defining my reality. No, I think picking sides divides. It's probably what has got us here. United States is great regardless. That's what we forgot in here. Black lives matter. All lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is shutting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud. Painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie. I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. They tell you be yourself and then they judge you on the internet till everybody hates you for it. If Jesus was alive, I swear to God that y'all would cancel him, cause lately being negative's the real new normal. Yeah, if you're thick, you're fat, you're rich, you're bad, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're whack. They lie, it's facts. My generation needs a bunch of free condoms, cause common sense ain't that common.
And isn't that true? The stereotypes, the boxes that people put you in, especially on the internet. You know, they tell you to be yourself, but then they judge you for it. You know, every black person online must be poor, so they must understand what it's like to be poor. Every white person must be a racist, so they must understand what it's like to hate. You know, these slacktivists, these people who think they're going to change the world by getting offended on Twitter, have compartmentalized everybody, and they've made it so we do that to ourselves. They've made it so that when we enter a conversation or a discussion with other people, we're automatically wondering, is this person going to put me in a box before we start the conversation? And if so, do I need to do the same thing to them in order to defend myself? And that's the kind of division and trouble that creates, because it's causing a defense mechanism to switch on, which is normal. It's part of our human evolution, that defense mechanism to protect ourselves from people who are different. A lot of people think racism is manufactured, but racism just evolved from a normal defense mechanism that thought of people who are different than you could be dangerous to the people in your community, in your tribe, in your family, because they could bring disease, they could bring war, they could bring suffering. Maybe they're scouts for an army. Like our early proto-human civilizations did not look at people different because they looked different, but because they were from different places, and people from different places could be dangerous. And that's where that evolved from. It later became something really vile when you started judging people based on how they look and determining whether they're as smart as you or whether they're more human than you. That's what became evil about that. But that mechanism is still in our brain. That mechanism that says this person might hurt me or might compartmentalize me or might put me in a box, so I better do the same thing to defend myself. That's where that comes from, and they make us, they divide us that way. they're feeding on that natural human instinct to defend yourself, to protect yourself. I watched a TED Talk the other day where this guy who spent a lot of time with the KKK and wound up, it's a black dude, black musician. I wish I could remember his name, but I can't. But he spent a lot of time with the KKK, and he converted some of those guys, got them out of it. But one of the things he said is separation breeds fear, and fear breeds hate. And that's what it is they separate us, which breeds fear. And that fear, because of our normal human evolutionary defense mechanism, that fear breeds hate, and that's where it comes from. Welcome, Lacey on Trovo. Throw me a follow over there if you don't mind. I need to get to 20 so fast so I could join the Trovo sponsorship program or whatever. But thank you for stopping by, Lacey. I appreciate it.
Free condoms, cause common sense ain't that common. This is what they wanted, this is how they planned it. This is to control everyone on the planet. Then we put each other in caskets, protest and panic, and they take advantage to manage the damage. We won't always agree, nope, freedom doesn't come free. No, there was people fighting, dying overseas, so that you can have freedom and be home. I think the elites are real, but they ain't drinking baby's blood. They're creating chaos so they have something to save you from. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes.
Another fantastic video by Nova. From what I remember when this came out, he built most of that set in their backyard. The whole set and everything. They actually reused it in a couple of other more recent videos. But all of this, again, independently done. Nova, his girlfriend, shoots and edits the videos. They have Evan do the mixing. And that's it. That's all of them. So super independent, super talented. The music, this one's really catchy. Some of his newer stuff is really hard and aggressive, and this one is more lighthearted, I would say. It's not quite as lighthearted as Buttholes, which we watched a couple weeks back, but it's still very upbeat, very catchy melody, very catchy chorus, and very important message, basically about tribalism, the way we separate ourselves, the way we allow ourselves to be separated, the way we allow ourselves to be convinced that we need to hate other people because they're different, and forgetting that we're all the same, that we're all in the same boat together, that we're all going through this together. And if we continue to treat each other with hatred, we're all going to sink together. And that's kind of what this is about. That's what this song is telling you, is, we can't do this alone, and we can't do this if we keep fighting each other. We're not going to fix anything. So wonderful video by Tom. Go check it out on his original, or on his channel. I'll put a link to the original video in the description below. Make sure to come back tomorrow. We'll be doing Tom's new song tomorrow evening, about 4-ish Central Standard Time. Excuse me. And we'll have a new band on Saturday. So thank you all for joining me. Lacey, thank you for joining over on Trovo. Man, got burpy all of a sudden. Sorry about that. And thank you anybody else who was here. If you're watching the recording, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about it. And check out, was it last night's video where I did Dax's new release, a 10-minute one-cut video of him rapping. It was an impressive ride. Definitely check that out. So I will see you guys again soon. You have a great one. Much love. Bye.